Hello, hello, Upper One students. This is Mr. Marques. Let's work the part of the book in which we worked with, right, during our lesson in Unit 1B. Unit 1B brings a very nice topic, which is the mystery, right? Things that happen, but nobody could understand, and a solution was never definite, okay, has never been given. Well, so we started with this here, but first we listened to what happened to Mary Celeste, right here, to Mary Celeste. It was a ship, right, USS Cyclops and Amelia Earhart, right? So these people, these things, they disappeared. Something happened and they were never found mysteriously. And afterwards, after we heard about that, then we read, you, I don't read, it's you, right? We read about the mystery of the lighthouse, right? These three lighthouse keepers, they were left on an island, and 3 months later, when they were going to have their replacement, then they were not found, and it was so mysterious. And nobody ever, this was in Scotland, and nobody ever found, let's say, a reasonable answer or solution. Nobody has ever given a reasonable solution to what happened to these three men, right? Well, so we speculated a lot about what might have happened to them, right? So there were lots of theories. In this unit, we worked with the use of adverbs, and I recommend you to see the video about auxiliaries. And this is it. Here you've got the answers. Let me make this a little bigger. All right, here you are. Okay, I heard a weird noise in the middle of the night. Did you? Right, like to give surprise, right? What kind of noise, right? You don't believe in ghosts, do you? Like it's a confirmation thing, right? Do you? Because I really think you don't believe, do you? No, I don't, right? It's a confirmation. I've never been to a fortune teller, neither have I, right? It's when you agree or disagree with using auxiliaries. And then I have, it was really interesting. The next one, I don't believe you really saw a UFO. I did see one. Look, I did see one. This is like an emphasis, right? I did see one. It was a real thing, right? UFO stands for unidentified flying object, what we say, no, flying saucer. I mean, these things that come from somewhere, people say, right? So I did see one. So these are, this is for emphasizing what you want to say. And here, okay, so emphasize, here to give emphasis, number 5. Number 4, right, is to somehow to say, to answer that you think in a different way, right? Next one, show surprise, etc. Right? But in the class of about 1B grammar, you will see this in details. All right. Then we had this part here. No, we didn't do this pronunciation part, but here, complete sentences 1 to 8. So there's no right answer, no wrong answer. It is very personal. Like I'm not very good at skiing. Oh, neither am I. I have skied only once, so it was really, really bad. So you should say one activity and so on. So each one completed theirs, and then we had a breakout room session, and people spoke to themselves about their answers, which was, I suppose, quite interesting, right? Very well. In the next 2 pages, there was this, so beautiful, all right? This is like a walk in the forest. this is a psychological test, and people was like very involved, right? So the lady speaks so softly and gently, and along the walk in the forest, some elements were found, like a person was with you, an animal. You found a house, and then in the house there was a table, and then you leave the house, you go to a garden, and then you see a cup, and then after the cup you have to cross some waters, right, to go back home, and then each one of them has a meaning, right? I'm not going to put the answers here. There are no answers to put here, right? Because it was, okay, like you saw a person. Who was the person? So this is very personal. You saw an animal, okay, an animal was coming with you. How was an animal? Was it big? Was it aggressive? Was it, okay? So it was very, very personal. And afterwards, this was a very, very special moment, really. It was good. And then in the walk of in the forest, what's the meaning of the person you saw? What about the animal? Okay, how you interacted with the animal. In the house, what does it mean, or what did it mean? Right. So these are the answers. If you haven't seen it, I recommend. I recommend you see it. It's a very relaxing thing, right? And somehow some people say, oh my goodness, this is my life. And others said, well, really, a little, okay, not to say it has nothing to do with me. So, okay, a few things do match with how I feel with my life, right? So it was a very special moment. So these are the answers, right, to this psychological test, right? Afterwards, we had some grammar, right? Along the way, okay, not in the same class, but we had the grammar. This grammar is a kind of comparative, okay? The bigger the animal, the more problems you have, okay? Quanto maior o animal, tanto maiores problemas tu tens, okay? Tanto mais problemas tu tens, right? The harder and more resistant the cup is, the stronger your relationship is, okay? Quanto mais firme, dura e resistente for o material, né, da xícara, tanto mais forte é o teu relacionamento, okay? And I say the colder it is, the more uncomfortable I feel, okay? Quanto mais frio está, tanto mais desconfortável eu me sinto. So you have, we studied this here, right? It shows the formula and everything. Okay, the earlier we start, the sooner we'll finish. Okay, quanto mais cedo começarmos, mais cedo terminaremos. So this is a very usual construction using the comparative in English, in which you always use this pair, right? The, adjective, the. Okay, adjective in the comparative form, right? The sooner, okay, the earlier, the sooner. The more money, the less you have for your holiday. So we completed, the students completed each one of these questions. And because this is a very unusual way to speak in Portuguese, so I asked everybody as they completed to speak the sentence in Portuguese, just to make sure that they were somehow incorporating this kind of structure to themselves. So it was very nice. So this was it. And then we had this also special moment, right? Each one completed these sentences on their own, right? Very personal. So the more money I have, the happier I feel. The more money I have, the more I spend, the more money I have, right? So each person spoke 2 or 3, I can't remember, but it was more or less like this, right? Afterwards, we sort of checked these compound adjectives, right? Okay, open-minded, right? It means you are very open-minded, and this is from the listening. right? You're more self-sufficient, okay? Autossuficiente, more open-minded, okay? Mais de mente aberta. And there are many of them here, right? But over here, we didn't really study, right? But I asked for the meaning of each one of them. And here it was for you to say which word should be stressed when you speak. And in all of them, the second word should be stressed, like absent-minded, bad-tempered, big-headed, okay, arrogant, okay, easygoing. Like absent-minded is a person who sort of daydreams, right? Looks there, but the person is not really there, right? It's absent-minded. Sometimes an absent-minded person is also a forgetful person, of course, because he or she doesn't pay attention to things. Bad temper is because your humor is not good, you are moody, right? Big-headed is because you're arrogant, is you think that you are the one, that your opinions are better than the others and all these things. Easygoing is that person who is easy to deal with, the person who accepts invitations and helps and is an easygoing person. Good-tempered is a person who is happy, who is well mood, in good mood all the time. Laid back is a relaxed person. Oh, okay, never mind. Hey, it's raining. Oh, okay. Okay. The rain is not forever. I mean, you don't really care for the things that are going on around you. So you are relaxed. You are laid back. Narrow-minded are those who don't, uh, who are not very open. They are very maybe conservative, traditional, and they're not open to new ideas, to changes. So they're narrow-minded. They don't think big. They think small. They think narrow. Open-minded is exactly the opposite of narrow-minded. A very open person to opinions and to changes and things that happen in life. Self-centered is a person who, who is self-centered. Do you understand? Is a person who tries to put things to herself or himself. A person who um, thinks that his things are better. He does things in a better way than others. And so the self is very important in this case. A strong-willed, I would say that it's a stubborn person, is a person who has an opinion and won't change, even if he or she thinks it's wrong, but because someone else said it, I say, no. Okay, so strong-willed, I want it and I'll get it. Okay, I'll do it this way and I'm sure it will be all right. And many times it won't go all right. Tight-fisted is the person who doesn't like to spend money. Okay, tight-fisted as a person who um, prefers others to pay for his or her things, right? Are very open to this. People who buy the cheapest things, okay, because they don't want to spend money because money is so hard earned, right? And they don't want to spend. So it's a tight-fisted person, a person who won't let money go. Two-faced, okay, it's very, very clear, right? As a person who is one with you, but with another person, he or she is another person. Maybe with you, the person is kind and right? And very nice and helpful and all these things. But when the person gets at home, the person is so moody and so bad and so to others, okay, a cruel person, all these things. Okay, so two-faced, like you have a friend here, so you speak badly about that person, then you go to that person and you speak and you speak bad about this friend that you have here. So it's a two-faced person. Well-balanced is a person who has equilibrio, right? In all things, okay? In this case, it's like psychological, right? So it's a well-balanced person. And well-behaved is a person who behaves well, okay? De bom comportamento. And let me show to you. Okay, so the second word is always stressed, and that is it. Okay. Okay, then we had some very, very quickly, we talked about this. right? These are words that somehow intensify what comes next, right? So you say a very good tempered person, a quite good tempered person, an incredibly good tempered person. So they give degrees of intensity to what the what adjective comes next. Okay. Well, guys. So this was the part of the book that we worked with in Unit 1B. Okay. The vocabulary and other elements will be in your classes. Okay. Thank you.